You function at a high level almost effortlessly. You get the praise, you get the accolades, but privately, you know there's more. There's something God put in you that you keep pushing to the back. You call it a business, but you've been treating it like your side chick. It's time to stop stalling and start building without sacrificing the life that you love or the stability of your job. Hi, I'm Jateya Jones, and this is the Confident and Courageous Clarity Podcast, where corporate creatives learn to do both, be the blueprint, and finally bring that God idea to life. Let's jump into today's episode. Hello, and we're back. So this is indicative of me getting back into the groove of things and it not being perfect, but doing it. So in all honesty and transparency, it took me some time to come back. A lot of time has passed since the last season to this season. One, life has been lifing. I have been evolving and giving myself the grace and capacity that I encourage my clients to give themselves to evolve and to receive direction as to where they should go next and what their next should be so that it feels rooted and grounded and aligned in who they are authentically because they are the assignment, so that they can show up in 100% fashion and excellence to the people that they're supposed to serve. And so I did that for myself, which is hard. It's easier said than done. Most of the things that I do is easier said than done for others than for myself. And so today is me, no script, no bullet points, just starting. It is getting it out there, raw and uncut, sharing with you all my mindsets, where I've been and where we're going, what I've been hiding from, what I've been running from, my fears, but the fire in your gut and the push and the call on your life that you know is there that you can't run from, no matter how hard you try. Everything I've always done has been a download or a vision, I say, from God. And it's been easy for me because I just felt like I was following instructions. I just saw it clearly, clear as day, and I went to go. And because I believed, because I was obedient, it wasn't delayed obedience. The doors opened, people came, opportunities were there, and things happened the way they were supposed to happen. As I've grown and matured, I've realized a lot of times those visions weren't for me to start then. They were, but they weren't. The divine timeline is real. So the pieces are there for me to pick up and put them all together and move forward now. However, I would start and drop the ball, start and drop the ball. And as a multi-passionate, those of you who've been trying to find your purpose, you can relate to that because we got burnout trying to do all the things. And so I created a method for that because I was like, I can and do all the things, right? So how do I do that without burnout? We got the common thread, or some of my old clients call it the sunshine method, to identify your gift and your purpose is the different ways in which you execute it, right? So God that did that was able to keep going and move. However, I was running on just passion, not business. And therefore, it wasn't fruitful, it wasn't profitable. And therefore, I met another version of burnout. And then there was the hurt version of me wanting to show up for those because if someone showed up for me, I knew how I would take the opportunity, run with it, do the work because I just wanted the thing to work. But that hurt allowed me to show up for people who weren't ready to do the work, never had intentions on doing the work, just wanted access and a quick fix. And we all know purpose and mission work is not a quick fix. It is a mission, it is a movement. It causes impact and change. That is the whole thing. And legacy. And that is not overnight success. It's not. Does it come with some beautiful things? Yes. But after you've done the work. So I had to move past that and just help those who were ready to help themselves, which hurt my heart because I was like, I just want to help you. And I was pulling and tugging and pushing. No, we don't have time for that because the people that you are called to serve are ready. They're ready today. They were ready yesterday. And you don't have to pull and tug. You might have to encourage and then give some space because it is their assignment. And with that comes some growth on their end. And that takes time because we all have our own trauma and triggers and all the things. But because that drive is there to do and be, they're ready to do and be. It just may take some time, but they'll invest in themselves because they're ready to do and be. And so we got to that point, right? And so then there was God showing me that I didn't have some systems in place because I became the bottleneck. So we had to take some time behind the scenes, fix those things so that we can continue to move forward, things of that nature. So there's been so many moving pieces over time. And so we've moved past that. And so then with that being said, the fear. The fear showed up because, like I told you, I always knew everything I did was for the glory of God, honestly, and for people to be seen and heard and the underrepresented so that they had the support and the structure to go and create this new in the world that God assigned them to do and create positive impact and change. Break generational cycles or curses and not feel that they have to follow the societal playbook in order to be successful because a lot of us do. And so therefore we wait till retirement for the passion project where God was like, I told you to build it now though. Like what we doing? And for me to help them do that so that they are more of them so that they can be an inspiration to the next generation to come out of the gates listening and being obedient and doing the thing so that you can have true fulfillment, financial stability, and the freedom to live your heart's desire and live it on earth as it is in heaven, but on earth, right? And so the fear was actually coming out and saying these things because I didn't want Bible thumpers. I didn't want, somebody was like, what is a Bible thumper? The condemnation in hell and those that take every word in the Bible literal, even though they did not go to theology school and understand the true essence of the Bible. And as someone has recently said, a Pharisee, because they take it to structure the way that they want to and not the way that it's intended. Because I am hood and I'm holy. Jesus is my homie. That is a home skillet all day, every day since I was 5. And I intentionally by myself joined the church at 6. Like intentionally had conversation because that has always been the posture of my heart. I've just always been in alignment and in connection and in relationship. I may not know all the scriptures. I may not read my Bible every day or every month for that matter, but I'm listening to a sermon, if not every day, every other day. I am seeking him. I am having conversation. We are in relationship. And when I am in obedience, when I am not pressured by finances and the world, I allow him to lead and I follow. I got the receipts that he is an on-time God, maybe not in our time, and I do believe God has a sense of humor. I don't always think it's funny. However, the outcome on the end is always worth it. I may not want to go through it or do it, but it's worth it. And I understand. Thankfully, he allows me to see why. So on the tail end, I understand. I may not know why while I'm going through it, but because I have the experience and receipts of seeing it in the end, I continue to push forward. And all I've ever wanted is for my people to just be free to be, and the abundance and the overflow come from the alignment. But I myself act in fear and have not allowed or been obedient, immediate obedience. There's been some delayed obedience. But in this season, I am intentionally getting back to the version of me that he designed me to be, not the version that was conditioned by life and adulthood. And I want that for you. And so with that being said, I know who my people are. They have to believe in a higher power. We may not have the same denomination, but we believe in a higher power because you have to believe in the unbelievable in order to create what most people will think is impossible. And you're the one that's meant to make it possible. But you know you have this vision, you've had this download, it's been on you, it's been riding you, but you keep pushing it to the side. Also, mainly because you haven't had an implementation plan to help you ease it into the million things you already have going on. And so I resolved in my heart, in conjunction with my fear, that we are going to speak boldly and loudly about who my person is, who I am, the trials and tribulations, the lessons learned, but the tips and tricks so that you can be free to be and you can do it and you can find security and rest in the fact that this vision can hold you and it can be security. And I use air quotes because we find security in the 9 to 5, but if no other season in life has shown us the layoffs, the cuts, the closures, you may have been saved by that first or second layoff, but you are up at bat anytime. And the only thing that you can control is what you can control. which is why my acronym for CEO is clarity, execution, and ownership. I'm not telling you to lead a 9 to 5 because I would be an employeepreneur in a heartbeat. I was an employeepreneur for a really long time, but you can build the thing so that it's ready. It's ready for you if and when. And so that's it. Today is really short. It's really sweet. It's really brief. It is me sticking my pinky toe in the water to get back to getting and pushing past fear, allowing my nervous system to regulate and see that the things we once loved are not scary. People are needing it. They are requesting it. Shout out to Sierra Gray. She's like, I'm not on social media, but I love to hear you on YouTube and I'm glad you're back. So we're back and consistently. This is my season of consistent. I listened to a Sarah Jake Roberts sermon the other day and she's like, God is a God of subtly and suddenly. When you subtly do the work, he subtly prepares us. He subtly does all the things we've subtly been chipped away at and we have to get back to so that he can suddenly, and to many it looks like overnight, but we all know, those of us who've been in the trenches doing the work, we know it's been a long time coming, but here we are. So I'm glad to be back. I hope that this season blesses you and it prepares you to do the thing that you've been putting off for so long, that keeps nudging at you and is calling you and is pulling you basically more in alignment with him, but to your next. It's time for that next chapter. It's time. So here we are. Let's go. Hope you buckle up. Is there anything that you have, I don't even want to say struggle with, but experienced in this past few seasons or even in this current season that you would like me to touch on, speak on? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And we'll do just that because I am here for you. Thank you all for being here for me. Let's go. That's it. That's all for today. Tune into the next, and I can't wait to see what it looks like in the next season, or even just say by the end of this season, because I want us to do the work. I want us to push to the next. Us, not just you, not just me, us, hand in hand. I'm here to be your strategic clarity partner so that you can continuously gain clarity, maintain clarity, and push forward with confidence and courage. It's the name of the podcast, the Confident and Courageous Clarity Podcast. So, love you guys. I'm excited, scared, but excited. If this confirmed what you've been feeling, stop putting it off. You already know what God told you to build. If you're ready to move in obedience, book a clarity call. The link is in the show notes. Until next time, you have the clarity, you have the call. Now it's time for the courage.